Hello, hello! How are you guys doing? Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Please let me know in the comments where you guys are based, where you're tuning in from, what county. We've got people tuning in from the United States, from Rhode Island, from West Yorkshire, from Seattle, from Wales, from Finland, from California, North Carolina, from Boston, from Foggy Bottom, from Turkey, from Caracas, Berkeley, Moscow, Palestine, Birmingham, Toronto, Holland, Brazil, Amsterdam. That kind of ticks off the countries as soon as I say them, because I guarantee you we will light up the globe. Ethiopia, Bangladesh, we've got Cape Town, Wisconsin, Canada, Montreal, the UK, Bradford, Australia, Brazil, the White House. Ha ha ha, Biden is tuned in. Well, welcome to you all. So, YouTube decided to demonetize my channel. Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Well, all of a sudden, this is to then demonetize my channel. Can you take a guess what these videos are about? Are they about PlayStations? Are they about banners? Are they about cars? What do you guys think those videos were about? I'm looking at the comments. I'm waiting for you. There you go. There made even less sense. It was something like something with copyright. I was like, copyright? What do you mean copyright? It's me. I literally sit here and talk to myself alone like a madman. There's nothing else going on. And so that was about Israel in 2020. And now Israel is bombing Gaza, is slaughtering Gaza. What criminal organization? La Cosa Nostra? Was I sitting here like, you know, applauding Pablo Escobar? What does that mean, criminal organizations? And so, of course, on YouTube's own website, they go into a little more detail and they tell you what they mean, right? Countries in total. So I just want to show you here what they have on the website, all right? So they say here, if you're posting content produced by violent, extremist, criminal, or terrorist organizations. Again, I don't know what that is. Doesn't apply. There's literally nothing here that applies. Then I start looking at what, please bomb everybody, kill everybody, please take our money, take our money. And of course, if you remind people that there's something called the United Nations Charter, because remember the Israelis love to say that they are a member state of the United Nations and therefore they are a legitimate state, right? That's their logic. For you know, close to a century now, they make something very, very clear. It's not my opinion. This is the law. This is the law. If you are occupied by a foreign army, by an occupying power, you have the right, every right under the sun, to do whatever. Pretty like reaching and doing, you know, gymnastics here to try and make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. They have no right. I'm a journalist. I can talk about this till the goddamn cows come home. It's my fucking job to put things in context. I'm not here, you know, like, oh, this, keep in mind, when I say video, it's a 3-hour live stream. They took down a 3-hour live stream because of misinformation. I don't even know what's in the goddamn live stream. Me. And I'm the one speaking. How did you have time to sit down and listen? What part of it? I spoke about 10 goddamn subjects. When I stream for 3 hours, I'm talking about 10 subjects. Who the hell knows what I was talking about? Right? No, you're not allowed to know. And so now I'm demonetized. They have demonetized my channel, you know, for the crime of doing my job. I'm sorry, I didn't know that. I break it down so goddamn simply. And it works. One of the videos, I win the appeal. They put it back. And then they give me back the monetization. This is today, right? Look, I'll show you the tweet. I published this on Twitter so you can have a look at this roller coaster. Absolute roller coaster. My emotions were like this. been paused. Monetization is suspended for your channel. What, again? How do you demonetize someone, monetize them, and demonetize them in the span of 24 hours? Or 1 hour, I should say here. What is this lunacy? You know, I thought maybe this is a computer bug. Maybe it's a glitch. Ridiculous. Okay. So, you know, okay, they want to remonetize, or they don't want to monetize. What do you want me to do? I have tried everything, you know, and I'm not going to just, you know, censor myself. No, this is unacceptable. This is absolutely unacceptable. So here is taken down the same day after they've been up for a week, actually, some of them, right? That's not a coincidence. You have some little, you know, squirm, some troll from the Israeli Foreign Ministry or some other butthurt Zionist, and they're in one day all get taken down, and they all happen to be about Israel. You know, and it's you want to sit there and tell me it's a coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence. Use your brain. We know for a fact the Israelis have troll farms. Like, they even, you know, they've been using these for a long time now. I know they want you to think the Russians invented these things. No. So in any case, you know, I take it as a badge of honor. The same way I did when speaking to you. I'm live on all four. So YouTube, Rumble, Rockfin, Odyssey. I want to focus on Rumble the most. Okay. I need you guys to help me with a mass exodus, okay? I need you guys to please go subscribe to Rumble. How many times have I sat here and told you guys, you need to go and subscribe, because one day they might, you know, I can't just sit here and you know, bite my tongue and not speak clearly because we're on YouTube at the same time. We need to go on Rumble, and so this is how it's going to work from now on. You guys are going to go and subscribe on Rumble. And I can't talk about these subjects anymore. You know, my crime, the videos that they took down, my crime was just telling you what was happening on October 7th when the Hamas operation started. They took it down. This is one of the most important dates in modern history. It's probably the most important. Palestine. Whatever it is, we're going to go and do it on Rumble. So now, for example, I told you I'm going to tell you about the hospital attack, right? I'm not going to do it on YouTube. I'm going to stream with you. I'm going to stay with you on YouTube. But then when I'm done with all the topics that I feel comfortable covering on YouTube without being... And if you're in France, actually, once again, you see the brilliant European democracy and free speech that we're basking in. Apparently, Rumble is banned in France, okay? So you need to use either Rockfin or Odyssey. Okay, once again, I'm putting them up on the screen. Okay, so pour les gens qui sont en France, and super thanks. No super stickers, nothing. It's all gone. From now, I don't even remember the last time I've been paid by YouTube. So there's a good amount of money that's just sitting there. I don't even know if I'm ever going to get it now. You know, I think this is theft. It's not just insulting. It's theft. And subscribe on YouTube, but go and subscribe to at least one of these. Pick whichever one you want, but I think we should focus on Rumble. The other part of the solution, I need you guys to please donate on PayPal or Patreon or Cash App. Remember, when you watch on YouTube for free, and they have these ads in the beginning, what that? I was just reporting the goddamn news. This is insane. This is truly insanity. In any case, I need your support. I know a lot of you have been very kind, and you've signed up on Patreon and you've signed up on PayPal, but I'm going to need the you know, all the more. Here was the email that they sent me, right? We have suspended monetization on your channel for non-compliance with our partner program policies. You know, they have all these big terms and links that open other hyperlinks and other hyperlinks, and then another page that opens another page behind it. Is it Mongolia? Is it Iraq? I think it's very clear who's behind it. Okay. Once again, European free speech. So they tell you that deleting videos will not resolve community guideline or copyright issues. So even if I go willingly and delete the video, the offending video, right? The thought crime. Yes. I love how they give me a nice little sticker with a star. You're not able to monetize. Channel memberships paused. Well, thank you very much. What a solid. Wow. I'm sure those of you who actually, what is this stuff? You know, I understand why they have these things, you know, because when you read it, yes, the bulk of this is madness. I understand why they wouldn't want it on there. The problem is, looks like this is rumble.com/Richard Medhurst. You can see that's the live stream right there. That I'm live at the same time. Okay, so what we're gonna do now in about 10 minutes, I'm gonna cut the stream on YouTube. And we're going to stay only on Rumble and Rockfin and Odyssey, okay? Because I'm not allowed to videos. It's exactly the same. And then we have Rockfin as well, rokfin.com/Richard Medhurst. So they're all pretty much the same, right? They're all alternatives to YouTube. Okay, well, I promised you it went up a moment ago. Hold on, I can read your names out. Yeah, let me just read your names out. I want to shout you guys out. So we have Trev Norris, who just followed. We've also got C in the Sky. So we've got Die. Hold on, I'm just going to show you this tweet. When I posted about the fact that they had shut down my channel essentially and taken away my money. Jimmy Dore retweeted it, and he's also on Rumble, right? So I'm telling you this as a fact, okay? I know this for a fact. German media, Austrian media is copy-paste what you hear in the States, just translated in German. The French media, copy-paste. Copy-paste. There's no nuance. There's no, a French version in my mind since the first time it happened, right, in 2020. That I'm not okay with this. That at any second, some anonymous spook can just come in and shut down your YouTube channel because you said too many things that they don't like, right? Again, no one is talking about cussing necessarily or God forbid, good riddance. It's a shame. It's a shame because I've spent I've worked hard for years. I've spent lots of energy and time and sweat and blood and tears building this. And I'm by no means letting it go. I will try my utmost to do everything that I can on YouTube. But when it comes to, really, really important news, the most wonderful. Thank you guys. Thank you. Because I used to beg you guys. I used to annoy you every live stream. I'm like, please go subscribe. You know what? You never know. What if they screw me? Guess what? They screwed me. No, but seriously, I used to tell you guys that this day might come. I think the best thing to do is let's primary income, every cent gone. Even the stuff that I made before, I don't even know if I'm going to get it. Okay, so this is how the Israelis do. This is what they do. They're very vindictive. They're very vindictive. And even then, this is like a joke compared to what they do. I was going to start reading them to you. Because some of you had already sent in donations before I began. So I'll read them to you now. But again, I just want to stress the importance of this, that I really need you guys to go on Rumble, to subscribe there, and to please donate in whatever way you can. Look, these are all, it doesn't matter. Everything and anything helps. And, since the very beginning, it is only thanks to you guys, through you guys, that I'm able to do my job and to continue, doing my work is really the most important thing for me. So there you go. Screw the Israelis. Chin up. Carry on. Miss the community. I'm afraid that I forgot that we even had one. So I don't know what happened to it, but I'm happy to see you, and it is sad, but at the same time, who cares? I mean, this was to be expected. Okay, I'm from the left, so that's that. I don't even know what role this is supposed to play. The most important thing, I'll give you this story that I heard, and it's true. The French government, right? They asked Rumble to take down certain videos, right? They wanted them to ban Telesur, everything that is remotely different from the official government narrative. Let's ban it. We are with you all the way. No, thank you. I think, we can do with a good change. We've got a donation here. Man, my phone won't stop buzzing now because of you guys. Silence. Juan and Desflow. So I'm gonna play a crowd dance for you guys in just a second, okay? Thank you, Harold, for the donation on Cash App. Harold says, "For I'm happy to support your work and will subscribe to Rumble." Thank you. This is what I'm talking about. I knew I could count on you guys. And, you know, the thing is, we literally have the community. I'm addressing you guys. Stream. This is a 1-hour video. What did I say in there that needs to be deleted? You know, this is astonishing to me. If you are an Israeli, you can go on Sky News, right, as we saw with Bennett. You can go on YouTube and say, yeah, you know, that people in Gaza are less than human. And, you know, all these vile things that they say. And they anti-bullying code of conduct. So basically, Instagram and Facebook made it okay for you to go on Facebook or Instagram and say, I want to kill Russians. Again, I'm going to repeat that. Facebook and Instagram, their own. You be consistent. How about no death threats to anybody? Yes? And that goes for the Israelis when they go on the news program and say they want to kill Palestinians. That should not be allowed. Anyway, I think you guys get what I'm saying. PayPal donation, they will take it aside for like 2 days or something, and I mean I'm not sure what they're expecting to find. Like, do they think they're going to start, you know, gathering cryptologists to crack a donation? You know, it's petty. It's so ridiculous. Just to be clear, whenever we have to switch to Rumble, I will always send you guys the link in the chat. Always. I will literally put it there multiple times so you do not miss it. And I will always wait a few minutes to make sure everybody gets there, or I fill up the room, and then I'll continue. Palestinians, I mean, what they're going through right now, it's worse than 2014. How can you do worse than 2014? That 2014, that's stuck in, you know, everybody's minds as being like a slaughter, and they managed to surpass that. What the Israelis are doing is, I don't know what to, you know, I don't know what to say anymore. I really don't know what to say anymore. Stay, no thanks. So yeah, I'll tell you what time it is. I'll post it on Twitter and in the community tab, so don't worry. But I just wanted to tell you guys it's on Friday. It's going to be great. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Callens. Thank you, Extra. Thank you, Mona. It's good to see you, Mona.
Claiming I'm the enemy. You got that, you goddamn son of a bitch?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Cut that bitch off.
Thank you for Iron Dome.
Thank you.
والله انت كلاب بصراحة يعني. ماشي نشتغل عادي.
We lied, we cheated, we stole.
China.
Put myself, I know it's not.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Disgusting!
Remain and endure. Really, thank you guys very much. Hold on, what is, okay, wait a second. We've got, I'm just reading these out, okay? Thank you, Patricia. Patricia said, stay strong, Richard. I will, and it's through you guys that I will. Jerry said, difference to us all out there. Jocelyn from Detroit, near Canada. Well, thank you. Shout out to Detroit, and shout out to you as well, Jocelyn. And we have another one here on Cash App. This is from Kine. There's no note, but you know, of course, not necessary. I'm broadcasting there, so if you're on Rumble, you don't have to do anything. This is the link to the live stream. Just give me a second to post it in the YouTube chat, so that if you are watching on YouTube, you can just you can just click it, and then it will take you there automatically. Okay. Actually, gosh, but you can almost smell it. Laugh my ass off. Great job. I mean, you know, this is Claudia's genius. It wasn't mine. Okay, but yeah, it does take me by surprise every time I hear it. So in any case, just give me a second to paste the links in the chat. I'm getting 730 followers. Keep it coming, guys. Come on, keep it coming. All right. It doesn't take long. It's free. I mean, I thought that was clear, but I guess it warrants repeating anyway. All of these things are free, like Odyssey and Rockfin and Rumble. I'm only on there precisely because I was afraid. I'm gonna give you the links. I think Claudia might be already pasting them in the chat, so which is very helpful. So thank you, Egar, and thank you, Wadeworth. YouTube, get your asses over to Rumble or Rockfin or Odyssey. You know, everything's okay. And Claudia's put the links there, so thank you very much. Once again, I reiterate my so thank you for believing in me. Thank you for investing in independent media, whether it's me or you know, another channel. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're building something else that's, you know, something alternative to corporate media, and that's what matters. Because they lie, and they lie through their goddamn teeth, even with this hospital story, okay? So we'll get to that in a second.
And he ran a bunch of bad boys.
Listen, fuckhead, you have fucking crossed the line, claiming I'm the enemy. You got that, you goddamn son of a bitch?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Cut that bitch off.
Thank you for Iron Dome.
I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large.
We got him.
Because I have to do it myself. I know it's not.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Disgusting!
So you have another terrorist attack in Ukraine. This time it's the Kakhovka Dam. And the first thing the media do is blame the Russians. So let's see why the Russians would do it. They control the dam. They control the region. They need the dam to funnel water to Crimea, which is also under Russian control. Almost a year later, the Washington Post finally admits that Ukraine, not Russia, Ukraine blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. This is something that I, myself, and others have been saying since the very beginning. Anyone with half a brain knew that it was not Russia. So you have another terrorist attack in Ukraine. This time it's the Kakhovka Dam. And the first thing the media do is blame the Russians. So let's see why the Russians would do it. They control the dam. They control the region. They need the dam to funnel water to Crimea, which is also under Russian control. They literally have zero motive. There is no... All right, guys. Let's begin then. Okay, give me a second, and this is quite the atrocity. I mean, this is really the worst, without question, the worst attack. You know, since the operation started on the 7th, without question. So. You guys see this? All good? All right. So the Israelis bombed Baptist hospital in Gaza, in Palestine, and killed 500 people in one fell swoop. 500 civilians. This is... I mean, this goes without saying. This is a war crime. This is the I'm speechless. Honestly, I don't even know where to begin. The horrors, you know, from this carnage. The biggest loss of human life since the operation began on October 7th. And now what the Israelis are trying to do, you know, to add insult to injury, literally adding insult to injury, they're pretending that Hamas are the ones who did it. You know, I have half a mind not even to talk about this, because every single time the Israelis try to throw, you know, a giant lie out there and then put Hamas and everybody who criticizes Israel on the defensive. So now instead of saying, hey, you guys are mass murderers, you just killed 500 people, you bombed a hospital. Instead of saying that, now it's, wait, hold on a second. Hamas didn't do this. Hamas don't have this. You see how they get you to change the conversation and change the subject? Same thing with the dead babies, right? Instead of it being, oh, look, we have actual evidence, you know, like countless photos of like dead Palestinian babies in hospital, no food, no water. Instead of talking about that, which is which is real, which is demonstrable, which is proven, no, now we're talking about 40 imaginary babies. So look at the look at what happened. Okay, I'm gonna play you this clip. This is like something out of a comedy. It's so cringy. This is the Israeli spokesperson trying to demonstrate how Hamas are the ones who blew up this hospital. Remember, I'm going to repeat the figure. 500 people died. Just like that.
The trajectory analysis from the barrage of rockets confirms that the rockets were fired close proximity to the hospital. In addition, there are two independent videos which show the failure of the rocket launch and the continuation of rocket flight towards the ground within the Gaza Strip, falling in the hospital compound. Third, we have intelligence, some that will be shared here, of communication between terrorists talking about rockets misfiring. The terrorists realized that the rocket has misfired and made specific reference to the Al-Hali Al-Ma'dani hospital. I would want to let...
I mean, I love this personally. I mean, you know, you've certainly convinced me. So, you know, on October 6th, the Israelis have no clue that Hamas are coming the next morning. And they didn't. They really didn't have a clue. I'm not being sarcastic. But, you know, my point is that the Israelis went from being blind, you know, as blind as bats, to now suddenly they know the location of every Hamas fighter and their uncle in Gaza. They know, you know, what color their poop was in the morning. They know who they're phoning and what they're talking about. They're intercepting phone calls now that just so happen to prove that it was Hamas. Listen to this crap.
Everybody hear the conversation, and I will do the translation in English.
How kind of you.
I'm telling you, this is the first time that we see missile like this falling, and so that's why we are saying it belongs to the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. What?
You know when you're watching a school play and you just want to rip your hair out? This is the feeling that he gives me. It's like secondhand embarrassment. I'll play you the clip so you can watch it with subtitles, right? Because the Israeli occupation did us the courtesy of uploading it directly onto Twitter. Okay, so I can play it for you. Here, let's have a look.
Show that what are you saying, Abu Ammar? But God bless. It couldn't have been found another place, not the hospital, to explode? Never mind, yes, Abu Raji. They shot it from the cemetery behind the hospital. What? They shot it coming from the cemetery behind the Al-Mahadani hospital.
You see, this is where the Israelis screwed up. You saw the map that he was showing you? You saw how the rocket launch site is 4 bloody kilometers away from the hospital. Okay,
So this is Channel 12's camera. It is a camera situated in the city of Netivot, and its view is of the Gaza Strip. You see the time stamp on this. It's 6:59, and this is when it happens. We can press play on the tape, and you can see very clearly. Again, this is Channel 12's camera. You can see the rockets. This is the left red stamp fired over the hospital, which is the right, and you can see the blast. So that is proof.
No offense, but are you blind? Look at these rockets. The rockets, look at the angle. The rockets are going up over there. Okay? Those are the rockets. And you expect us to believe that the explosion over here is the same thing? They're not even headed in the same bloody direction. Look, somebody, thankfully, filmed this from another angle. There's the explosion. What the hell do these rockets on the right have to do with that? I mean, this is, the Israelis are not just reaching here. They're doing, gymnastics and acrobatics. It's amazing. It's amazing. I've never heard of such powerful rockets in Hamas possession. Do you guys ever recall just one instance, when Hamas fired rockets at Israel and killed 500 people in one fell swoop like that? Because I fucking don't. You know why? Because that's not what they fire. The Israelis, they ran an airstrike on that hospital. They killed 500 people, and now they think that, we have our heads stuck up our asses or something, like we're stupid, and we're just going to believe it's Hamas. The Israelis did that. This is not out of the ordinary because, since October 7th, the Israelis have destroyed, over 23 ambulances, 20 medical clinics. They've killed a dozen medics, as they usually do, right? Always got to kill medics and reporters. This is an Israeli sport. And even Biden is, look at this clip. Biden comes, he arrives today in Occupy Palestine, and as usual, he's helping repeat the bullshit for the Israelis, just like he did with the dead babies, right? The so-called 40 dead babies. Just watch this pathetic display. I don't know whose acting is worse, his or the guy in the first clip.
Taking too much time, but the point is this, that I was deeply saddened and outraged by the explosion at the hospital in Gaza yesterday. And based on what I've seen, it appears as though it was done by the other team, not you. But there's a lot of people out there not sure.
The other team? What are you playing? Laser tag? The other team. Okay, I know, we say that colloquially, but it's so funny how Netanyahu Netanyahu has this look where, he knows that Biden is lying, and he knows that Biden knows that he's lying, and he's just like, yes, get it out, and yeah, shut the fuck up. Okay, very good. Yep. look at his guilty face. Look at Netanyahu.
Explosion at the hospital in Gaza yesterday. And based on what I've seen, it appears as though it was done by the other team, not you.
He's like, very good, Joe. Very good, very good.
But there's a lot of people out there not sure. So,
can you imagine the outrage if the Palestinians had done this to the Israelis? 500 people. Or let's say Putin. Can you imagine if Putin had killed 500 Ukrainians by bombing a hospital on top of it, right? So this is, of course, the traditional charge that is always leveled against Assad, right? And the Russians, of course. Putin and Assad are bombing hospitals. They're bombing hospitals with barrel bombs. Assad himself gets in the helicopter while Putin flies and drops the barrel bombs with his wife, right? All sorts of mythical tales. And it's so funny that, just next door, you can bomb hospitals. You can bomb as many hospitals as you like and kill as many people as you like, as long as the people doing the bombing are Israeli and the ones doing the dying are Palestinians. Here, this is on Israeli TV. They're just casually admitting that they did the bombing.
קשה בעזה, הפצצה ישראלית בבית חולים, על הבית חולים אל-מועמדני ברצועת עזה. על פי הדיווחים הראשונים יש בין 200 ל-300 הרוגים פלסטינים, תמונות קשות שכבר יוצאות עכשיו משם, מדברים על עוד מאות שנמצאים תחת ההריסות. אגב,
Hundreds are trapped under the rubble. I mean, when he says difficult images, and I'm not trying to give him crap, I'm actually impressed that he dared to go on Israeli TV and say the truth before the cover-up began. But no, I felt sick to my stomach when I saw that. The things that I saw are indescribable. And I'm not going to show them to you because, you know, the point here is not to like just, you know, look at images of gore together. And this is the point is that I want to be able to tell you the truth, to tell you what happened. Right now on YouTube, I'd be worrying if I can even say the sentence. You know, it's funny how like the Israelis can go and murder people, but I am not allowed to tell you that the Israelis have murdered people. What a fucked up planet.
לאו דווקא חולים, מדובר באנשים שנמלטו מבתיהם לבית החולים, בתקווה שזה יהיה מחסה בטוח מבחינתם, קשה בעזה.
So of course now, you know, the Israelis, they will pull out their trusty old manual, and I'm so happy that that someone posted this again because I was looking for it a while back. It's truly a remarkable it's a remarkable document. Okay, give me a second to pull this up for you. So this is a handbook. It's a handbook for the Israelis about announcing Palestinian casualties. All right, take a look. So, Israel's style of public relations. Number one, the Israelis claim they haven't heard reports of deaths, but they'll look into it. Number two, the people were killed, but by a faulty Palestinian rocket. That's where we're at right now. We're at step number 2, right? It's Hamas. Number 3, okay, we killed them, but they were terrorists. That's coming very soon. Number 4 says, okay, they were civilians, but they were being used as human shields. We've been hearing a lot of that recently. And again, I want you to understand something. When the Israelis, and of course their European and American lapdogs, use the term human shields, they include, you know, they're not talking about for like some hypothetical fighter who grabs a child and, you know, puts him in front of him. No. This is something out of the movies. When Biden or Netanyahu talk about human shields in Gaza, they mean any person who decided to stay in their home. Oh my God. How dare you? How dare you stay in your house? You know, you can choose to go outside and get killed by the Israelis on the evacuation route, or you can be a human shield and die anyway, but inside your house, under the rubble. So, you know, the Israelis are very generous with these choices that they offer Palestinians. So, number 5 is, okay, there were no fighters in the area, so it was our mistake, but we kill civilians by accident. They do it on purpose, right? So this is the usual, see where else they would be building said tunnels, given that you've crammed them into a ghetto. Yes, I assume some of them will be under schools and hospitals. Are you implying that it's okay to bomb the schools and hospitals because there are potential tunnels underneath? Because once again, let me remind you, when Russia and Syria were doing counter-terrorist operations to get rid of ISIS and Al-Qaeda and the scourge that was brought upon Syria, they called that, you know, a genocide even, right? They called it barbaric. Assad is a butcher. Assad the butcher. Assad is a war criminal, right? And I you know, I would be shocked if even 1/4 of that stuff is true. I would be shocked. But here, the BBC, they want to get you ready. They want to prep you, condition you, program you. Get this in your mind, plant the seed that it's okay if some civilians die in Gaza because Israel is a victim. Israel has the right to defend itself. Hamas are the ones who put the civilians in danger by digging tunnels there. Yeah, well, what the fuck are they supposed to do? Dig tunnels in space? Now, I was shocked, actually, to see some truth on MSNBC and CNN. Look at these clips.
That they have not yet made public. We should also say that this kind of death toll is not what you normally associate with Palestinian rockets. These rockets are dangerous, they are deadly, they do not tend to kill hundreds of people in a single strike. In the world, this is...
Thank you. Finally, someone with common sense. Thank you. You know, this really shouldn't need explaining, but Apparently it does. And the Israelis, they're trying so hard, you know, they're sending their troll armies or whatever the hell, you know. I mean, they don't really need troll armies. You've got so many brainwashed people who just happily do this propaganda, who say, well, you know, there wasn't a big enough crater, so how could it be a JDAM? How could it have been dropped by an Israeli jet? There's no crater. Wow, really? You know, this is not new technology to have bombs that explode in the air. They don't actually have to make a crater. You genius.
I will say, just based on seeing these rocket attacks many times over the years, that they don't usually have an impact like that in terms of the size of the blast, in terms of the scale of the death toll and the scope of the damage. It's also not the first time, it's important to add, that we have seen the IDF categorically deny something before being forced to kind of do an about-face after an extensive investigation. I will say, just based on...
And shortly afterwards, Clarissa Ward lost her job as CNN anchor. You know, that's the thing with mainstream media. Every now and then you do get a little, you know, a little speck of truth. The problem is, you know, it's literally 30 seconds, nothing more. Nothing more. So if you want other examples of the Israelis lying, there's this famous incident in Gaza on the beach where you had 3 Palestinian boys who were just playing football. There was no battle, there was no war, there was no urban conflict. There were 3 boys playing on the beach. An Israeli ship gunned them down, murdered them. And they said, oh, we didn't know, and this, and it turns out they're lying, of course. And then when it comes to Shireen Abu Akleh, the journalist, what did they say? First of all, you know, it's like the guide I showed you. They said, hey, we have no clue what happened there. Then they said, hey, okay, we did fire, but, you know, those were terrorists. Then they said, okay, well, they weren't terrorists, but, you know, they were standing near terrorists, and, you know, it was an accident, etc., etc. And then, of course, they blamed the brigades in Nablus and in Jenin, right? I forgot step number 2 or 3, whatever it was, right? I swear to God, this is like an actual, you know, playbook, to use one of the media's terms, that they employ. It's so predictable every single time. They always pretend they didn't know, you know, they had no clue. Well, okay, let me ask you something. Let's give the Israelis the benefit of the doubt for 1 millisecond and say that they really didn't know. Fine, then why are you in a combat zone? If you don't know who the fuck you're firing at, maybe you shouldn't be in the army, maybe you shouldn't be invading other people's homes, invading other people's land, you know, starting wars or fighting in wars. Maybe you shouldn't do this. You should, you know, recuse yourself and go home. No? You're either too incompetent to know what you're doing, or you know very well what you're doing and you're a murderer. Both of these don't look too different from one another, because the result is just as bad, and it's always the Palestinians on the receiving end. But thank goodness, Mr. Blinken, in his infinite wisdom and generosity and benevolence, puts out a statement saying that, well, in Biden's remarks today, the President of the United States recognized the suffering of the Palestinian people and stated unequivocally that, quote, we mourn the loss of innocent Palestinian lives. So once again, we have passive language, okay? So you know, when you hear this, you might be thinking, well, that's a very noble thing to say. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, what are you complaining about? What's the issue? What I'm complaining about is the tone, the wording. Mr. Blinken is the head of the State Department. Yes, he's a diplomat by trade. Every single word that you employ matters. If those were Israelis, 500 Israelis killed, you know, and again, you saw after October 7th how much they were whining. They, you know, he would not be talking like that. He'll say, oh, it was a terrorist attack. It was a war crime. Completely different language. He would say they were killed. They were murdered. Not this passive shit, you know. And then, of course, it's not just him. It's also the UK Foreign Secretary, this dunce that we have in England. So he says that last night too many jumped to conclusions around the tragic loss of life at Al Ahli Hospital. It's the same hospital, Baptist Hospital. Getting this wrong would put even more lives at risk. What does that mean? Are you going to execute me for rightly concluding that Israel dropped a fucking bomb on the hospital? What is this like veiled threat? Wait for the facts. Report them clearly and accurately. Cool heads must prevail. Oh yeah, okay. Cool heads must prevail. Right. I'll remember that the next time some Israelis are killed by, I don't know, Hamas or whatever, because he didn't strike this sort of tone on October 7th. Yes. He didn't say, wait for the facts. It's not a terrorist attack. It's not a war crime. Everybody wait for the facts. This is a sentence you will never hear a Western politician utter upon the demise of an Israeli. Ever. Here, let me show you another dunce, the Prime Minister.
I know the whole House will have been shocked by the scenes at Al Ali Hospital. Any loss of innocent life is a dreadful tragedy. And everyone will be thinking both of those who have lost their lives and the families that they leave behind. We should not rush to judgment before we have all the facts on this awful situation.
What facts do you need? Please enlighten me. Please, seriously, please tell me, what is it exactly that you are missing? You're the Prime Minister. You don't have enough resources at your fucking disposal. Why should they even care? When you have, spineless people.
Every
like
member
this.
will know that the words we say here have an impact beyond this House. This morning, I met with the National Security Advisor, but also the chair of the Joint Intelligence Committee. I can tell the honourable gentleman our intelligence services have been rapidly analysing the evidence to independently establish the facts. We are not in a position at this point to say more than that, but I can tell him we are.
What a disgusting person. What a disgusting liar. Even if you believe this crock of shit, when he does find himself in a position where he does have all the facts and he finally sees the truth and admits that it was the Israelis, he won't bother admitting it. He's not going to come and give a speech in Parliament. He's not going to say anything.
We are working at pace, but also cooperating and collaborating with our allies on this issue as we look to get to the bottom of the situation, and we will also continue all our efforts to get humanitarian aid into the region.
Just, I cannot stand this. I'm not even in Gaza, and I cannot stand this. Can you imagine being in Gaza and hearing this shit? This is what people don't understand, is that Palestinians, people who are on the receiving end of Israel's humanitarian policies, and on the receiving end of Western imperialism, they have long abandoned and abdicated any sort of hope in Westerners. It's long gone. There is no reasoning, and it's not the fault of the average Joe. It's the fault of the government, the intelligence agencies, the corporations, and the media. They make sure that the population is ignorant as can possibly be. All right. That way, no one is going to open their mouth when they, when they see their own weapons and money going towards, massacres like this. I don't know what else to call this. I mean, war crime seems too, it's too trivial, right? It's too diluted to describe something like this. What were they doing bombing a hospital? What was in the hospital? How do you justify this? How do you kill 500 people and then have the audacity to then say, oh, it wasn't us? Do you think people are stupid? I want to show you the Israelis what they did here on their Twitter, right? They have an official Twitter account. So look, they had posted a video. It's the same video that I showed to you at the beginning of the segment with these Hamas rockets going off into the air. They were saying that this is proof. You're just supposed to blindly believe them. And so they said that from the analysis of the IDF, enemy rocket barrage was carried out towards Israel, which passed through the vicinity of the hospital when it was hit. Right? And they were saying that it was actually Islamic Jihad, right? So PIJ, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, which is a different group from Hamas. Its headquarters are in Damascus. Nevertheless, this is not the main point. The main point is that the Israelis then deleted the video, but kept the same statement up because the video is a fake. It's a fake. They say one thing, and show you another. They show you something completely different that has nothing to do with what they have just stated. And you know, the fact that they were all boasting about this. You had many Israelis that were boasting about this. Look, saying, this guy over here saying, Israeli Air Force struck a Hamas terrorist base inside a hospital in Gaza. A multiple number of terrorists are dead. Okay, that's not how you would say that, but anyway. It's heartbreaking that Hamas is launching rockets from hospitals, mosques, schools, and using civilians as human shields. Hamas is, I mean, this is, I feel contaminated reading this drivel. How can you write this crap? He deleted this, by the way, afterwards. I mean, I really don't care whether they delete it or not. The problem is not what Israelis tweet. It's the fact that they actually go and murder Palestinians, right? They always want you to think like, oh, Hamas are so evil. Palestinians, they are chanting death to America, or Iranians are chanting death to America. But yeah, at least they just chanted. You literally go and murder and inflict death and bring death upon Palestinians, upon Iranians. That's the goddamn difference. Look at this crap also. The State Department saying, we mourn the loss of innocent Palestinian lives. No, you don't. The United States unequivocally stands for the protection of civilian life during conflict. No, you don't. If you did, you would tell the Israelis, if you kill one more person, you are never getting a bullet from us ever again. And just look how they will, quickly whip themselves into shape. But you don't do that, of course. The State Department says the vast majority of Palestinians are not Hamas, and Hamas does not represent the Palestinian people. Great. So can you explain to me why you're killing Palestinians the whole time that have nothing to do with Hamas? Once again, this bears, this warrants repeating, not just now, but in 10 years, 20 years. The majority of casualties, the majority of the people that Israel have killed are women and children. I mean, whether they're female or male is really irrelevant, because they want you to think that every male above the age of 14 is automatically a fighter. Says who? You? This is propaganda that they used to drone strike people in Pakistan and Afghanistan and make you shut up. So always keep that in mind. But either way, 500 people in a hospital. And I don't use that term lightly, butchering, because they use it every second to talk about whoever, Saddam Hussein, Bashar al-Assad, the butcher of Baghdad, the butcher of Damascus. Yeah, okay. No, this is actual butchering. This is what I mean. Once again, I go back to my ultimate conclusion. Either the Israelis are too incompetent to touch and use weapons, or they know exactly who they are bombing. They know that they're killing civilians, and either way, they should not be anywhere. They shouldn't be allowed anywhere near these kinds of weapons. They shouldn't even be in Palestine. They should all go home. What a miserable choice. What a miserable, a predicament they've put Palestinians in. You can choose to die in your house. Maybe you get buried under the rubble, or you can get kicked out of your house because some Israeli commandant told you to leave, and then get killed on the way there. Or maybe when you're getting treated in a hospital, you get killed over there. What the fuck is this, man? Look how small, look again how small the Gaza Strip is. It's nothing. And then they put up all these graphs and say, oh, look how many tunnels they have. Like as if, having tunnels is an excuse to bomb the crap out of somebody. It's the same thing in Afghanistan. Oh, he has a radio? Shoot him. I've literally seen videos of Australian special forces, behaving like this. He had a radio, kill him. What does that even mean? He had a radio. So fucking what? How do you go to somebody else's country and you live on their land and you drink their water and you eat their food and you murder them? I've run out of words. I have run out of words to with which to describe this. I don't know what to say anymore, man. I really don't know what to say. And there is nothing the Palestinians nothing the Palestinians could do would even come close to what Israel has done to them. Nothing. There is nothing that comes close. And I told you, I told you guys, the Israelis, because of this humiliation, because of the scale of the humiliation, they are going to go in and slaughter people in Gaza. That's all. That is the only thing that the Israelis know how to do. They don't want to risk their own lives because they're the chosen people. They think they're superior and better than everybody else. Which I suppose is what you have to tell yourself in order to live in an apartheid entity, right? So they're not going to go into Gaza, in their tanks or on foot, because the last time they went in there, they had trouble getting out. And they just, they send these jets, comfortably bomb a hospital or whatever else it is. I mean, does it really matter if it's a hospital or a mosque or a house? The result is the same. You shouldn't think that this is just a one-off. Every single day they're bombing, journalists, medics. You remember in 2021 how the journalists from the Associated Press and Al Jazeera were begging the Israelis, please don't bomb our office. Please, there's nothing in there. Why do you want to bomb our office? And the Israelis are just like, fuck it, and they just leveled an entire office building for no reason. This has really been the deadliest day so far. And I think that you have to remember, it's not just the Israelis that are responsible. The other party that is just as responsible is the West. Like when we have a prime minister like this, who spends not even 10 seconds, just farting from his mouth and saying nothing. It's just hot air. No consequences to the Israelis whatsoever. No wonder the Israelis just get away with murder. Literally get away with murder. No wonder. And Biden, who's half asleep. No wonder. And I will add a third party. The Arabs. Where are the Arab countries? Where are the Muslims? Where are they? Where is Saudi Arabia? I told you they could cut oil production to zero. And you watch how that pressure is going to, topple, both the United States and Israel and the European Union like dominoes. It's been done before. It's been done before and it works. Why give in to them? Why? Why give in to them? Thank you for your donations, guys. We've got excuse me. I just need to drink something. We've got something from Musa. Thank you very much. And we've got something over here from Colin. It says, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, Colin. Thank you very much. And we've got another PayPal donation here from we've got a whole bunch of you who joined on Patreon. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Again, I don't know how many of you just joined in the last 10 minutes or 20 minutes, but YouTube demonetized my channel, okay? Which is why I'm only streaming now when it comes to actual fucking news, where I can actually report and speak freely without having to, pick my words. And that's why I'm doing it now exclusively on everything but YouTube. They, all the most important live streams that I've done in the last 2 weeks, they took them down. It's not like they said, you have to delete this part. This is unacceptable. We don't like that. You can't post. No, it's just screw you. Delete. Oh, and by the way, we're taking away your primary income and fuck you. So that is how journalists are treated in the West. That's the free speech. You can say what you want as long as you don't talk shit about Israel. And make no mistake, when you have in the same day, in the span of a few hours, 4 videos, I mean, one of them is a goddamn 3-hour live stream, okay, being reported, and they're all about the same topic. They're all about Israel's crimes. Who do you think did that? Agents from Botswana? Maybe from China? Only the Israelis are petty enough to go do shit like that. You know, but again, I take it as a badge of honor. It means I'm doing my job right, and you know, I struck a nerve. Maybe they shouldn't kill people. How about that? So in any case, this is where we're at. I can only do real news now. I'm gonna keep streaming on YouTube, you know, as much as I can, you know, to a certain extent, right? If there's a topic that I know they will flag or whatever, I'm just gonna come do it on Rumble in the same live stream as I explained to you guys. And something that's very important is that I need you guys to support the show now more than ever. It's crucial. Like I said, YouTube was my primary income source. They've taken it away. So I don't get 1 cent now for anything. And the worst thing, like the worst part is that they will go and put ads on my videos and you know, it's like I don't even get paid for that. I mean, the audacity, honestly, the audacity. It's not about the money. The fact that they just delete my work. They just delete it. There's no like appeal. There's no, you know, trying any process of trying to understand what is going on. They don't even tell me what I did wrong. Nothing. In any case, you guys, I owe you a crab dance. But again, I'm going to put this up on the screen. Please, if you can, donate on PayPal, donate on Cash App, join on Patreon, and become a patron. I don't know, you can do $1 a month, £2 a month. Anything goes, and everything helps. And I really mean that, now more than ever. And it's very crucial that you guys, I always told you that you know, this day might come, unfortunately, where we would have to have a contingency plan. So, you know, if you're subscribed on YouTube but not on Rumble, make sure you subscribe on Rumble or Rockfin or Odyssey. It doesn't matter. You know, whatever is good for you. If you're in France, for example, Rumble is banned, so you have to pick either Odyssey or Rockfin. It doesn't matter. They're all free at the end of the day. So just pick what's best for you. But I thought we should focus on Rumble, and let me see how many subscribers we're at right now. I wanted to actually read out your names to shout you guys out as we're climbing. Give me a second. Very good. We're almost at 10,000. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. So we were at I think 7 or something like that when I started an hour ago. Good, very good. Keep it going, guys. I know those of you who are watching on replay will also continue to join up. So again, keep it coming, and it's like every time I refresh, it goes up. Excellent. All right, 9,170 and rising. Very good. We've got 3,000 people watching. That's more than on YouTube usually. So actually, I'm glad that you guys moved over and we did the mass exodus. Good on you. I'm going to play a crab dance for those of you who joined on Patreon. Everybody, please say you know, give them a warm welcome and tell them thank you. Diana, Amir, Hamza, Yesri, Aquarius, Ahmad, Shiraz, Mari, Mano, Yuming, Vogel. Thank you guys so much. This crab dance goes out to you, and thank you for having my back and for supporting me when I need it and needed it the most, which is right now more than ever. Thank you.
Clap for that, you stupid bastard. Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
Listen, fuckhead, you have fucking crossed the line, claiming I'm the enemy. You got that, you goddamn son of a bitch?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Cut that bitch off.
Thank you for Iron Dome.
Well, thank you. Well, listen.
Disgusting!
She was 12, I was 30, but anyway.
We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Why you text Sanders? Why? You're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay. Okay.
Suck my dick and choke on it! I yield my time! Fuck you!
It never gets old. It never gets old. Hey, we've got an excellent. I found the super chats on Rumble now. I'm happy to see them. There's some funny ones here. So this is from. Hold on. Where did it just pop off to now? Well, one of you was saying that Netanyahu looks like damn it, where is it? I have to look for it now. There we go. Wow, that idiot Netanyahu looks like the kid that sells you out to your mom after the two of you get caught breaking something in her kitchen. What an absolutely petty bag of scum. Yes. That's from Candace Strike. Thank you very much, Candace Strike. And we also have another one here. We've got one from Prince. Prince says, your channel gets taken down for trying to stop an open genocide. But as for the channels that not only big up Israel and NATO, but blatantly call for this genocide, they are allowed to stay on. Yeah. Pretty nasty irony. A pretty nasty irony. You know, and I hinted at this at the beginning, is that, you know, you can go on, whether you're Naftali Bennett or some other fucking, you know, lame person, you just go on and say, oh, they're terrorists, we need to kill as many of them as possible. Yeah, totally fine. Totally fine. But dare you talk like that about God's chosen people? Mona says, don't worry, we are with you. We need more journalists like you. Thank you very much, Mona. And we also have another one here from Malicious Kai. Igor says, you are wonderful. So are you. Vanderworth says, glad you are on. Monachima says, love you and proud of you. You guys are very kind. Thank you. And we have another super chat here from Tanky. Said, oh, I recognize your username. It says, thanks for all you do in these dark times. Hopefully this ratio on Elizabeth Warren will bring a bit of cheer. Oh God, I don't know what to expect now. What did she claim she's a native again or something like that? Hold on. Let me I'm trying to open the link, or save it at least to open it later. All right, guys, shall we pull up what Tanky sent me? Let's have a laugh at Elizabeth Warren. God, you just reminded me the elections are coming up soon, and I have to suffer through that. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. What have we got? Oh, this is a tweet from you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. This is good. This is good. You did very well. I'm proud of you. Okay, guys, hold on. Let me show you the tweet. Wow. Okay. So, Elizabeth Warren says, the blast killing hundreds at a hospital in Gaza is deeply wrong. I grieve for each person lost. There is no excuse for the deaths of people seeking care and those who treated them. International law is clear. Innocent civilians must be protected and have access to humanitarian aid. And so, Tanky said, blast. Blast, doing some heavy lifting in that sentence. The blasts on 9/11 were deeply wrong. You really ratioed her. You actually ratioed her. That, you see, this is what I'm talking about, this passive language. And you highlighted their bullshit double standards so eloquently. I applaud you. Well done. Very, very good. This is what I mean. Thank you. You know, if you spoke like that, I know you were doing it as a joke, but actually, like, to point out the hypocrisy. But if you spoke like that to an American, you know, and you know, they would hit the roof. They would hit the ceiling with this, because you know, you're not allowed to make fun of or to denigrate any tragedy that befalls poor the poor West or poor Israel. You know, whereas the 9/11, the Israelis were saying that this October 7th operation is their 9/11. Man, Palestinians go through 9/11 every day. At the hands of who? Israel. So, you know, it's from the British Prime Minister to Elizabeth Warren, they all behave exactly like this. And what do you think they do in French and German? Do you think they write and speak differently? Same shit. Exactly the same crap. You know, this is sickening. This is intellectually barren and corrupt. You know, you have no diversity. You have no, you know, you have nothing but sheep leading other sheep. It is so frustrating. I mean, already now, and I assume, and I'm sure most of you guys would agree with me, just looking at the situation, all of it, you know, whether it's the propaganda about Ukraine or about Palestine, it's so, you know, it's so homogeneous and curated, like a symphony, right? In multiple languages, even. How are future generations going to look at it if we are already disgusted now? They're going to think we're some of the stupidest motherfuckers who ever lived. And I take issue with that. And I will go down on record protesting this stuff. Okay? That's that. So, thank you for the lovely tweet. And thank you, Kinky2 says, Kinky2 says, thanks for the truth, Richard. And we also got some other ones here. This is from, this was on PayPal, and it's from Diana. Diana says, thank you for true journalism. Much appreciated from California. Shout out to you, Diana, and shout out to California as well. And guys, please tell me in the comments where you're tuning in from, because I asked you when I first started the stream, but it's been a while now. So for those of you who've just joined, tell me where you're watching from. And I actually owe a crab dance to a rather large array of people here. Romance sent me something in Cyrillic, so I can't read it, unfortunately. I'll have to translate it, but it looks friendly.
Give a fuck what you think, bitch!
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Cut that bitch off!
Thank you for Iron Dome.
Thank you. والله انت كلاب بصراحة يعني. ماشي نشتغل عادي.
We lied, we cheated, we stole.
China. And you ain't black.
There's always the macro.
And then there's the micro.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
You talking to me?
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large.
we got him.
Because I have to do it myself. I know it's not.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Disgusting!
She was 12, I was 30, but anyway.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Why you text Sanders? Why? Oh, you're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay. Okay.
Suck my dick and choke on it. I yield my time. Fuck you.
Splendid. I love you guys. So, some of you were saying that there was some lag on Rumble or something. I will get it fixed for the next stream, and I think this is a good system, if I may say so. You guys tell me what you think, obviously, in the comments, of starting the stream out on YouTube, doing all the non-lethal topics that I'm allowed to articulate, and then hopping off onto Rumble. What do you think? I think it works out well, and it's actually quite liberating to just be able to speak. I mean, if you're doing journalism and if you have to hold yourself back and censor yourself, I mean, you're a prisoner then. You're a prisoner and you're not doing journalism. I don't know. Quote me on that or something. Write it down. Whatever. You catch my drift. Yes. So again, thank you guys. You're very kind, and I'm happy you're standing with me and standing by me, especially because it's a difficult period. Trying to figure out how we're gonna move forward and transition, and especially because it's this. Look, the thing is that it makes me angry because when I'm talking about these things, I want the whole world to know. And I think the reason, because it's frustrating. I'm seeing all these people dying in Palestine, and just as other human beings, you're seeing this happen to other human beings. It breaks your heart. And then on top of it, there's no difference between Palestinians and Syrians, and it's one Arab people. It's one people. So, I want to scream from the top of the rooftops. I want to shout from the rooftops and tell the whole world what's going on, because I'm frustrated. And I did a video just a few days ago. It exploded on Twitter, millions of views. And I think that is what pissed the Israelis off. That, and the fact that I interviewed the Palestinian ambassador. The same day I put up the interview, all of a sudden, my account is, my YouTube account is demonetized, for videos that have been up for like 2 weeks, and they don't tell me what's wrong. Who, like one of them, as I said, was a 3-hour stream. Can you maybe tell me what part of it, is misinformation? Who the hell knows? You know, of course, that anything can be misinformation nowadays. Anything they don't like, misinformation. And I find this funny that I'm assuming, again, with the other 3 videos, the first ones, where they wrote something like, criminal activity or glorifying acts of terrorism or some shit like that. It's a long section, right? So there are 15 points. So I'm just guessing what I think that they're referring to. It doesn't really matter, right? The Israelis just want me to be quiet. But what I think is funny is that if you're talking about the Ukrainians killing Russians, wonderful. This is a gallant act of resistance. It's beautiful. It's heroic. As a matter of fact, it's so heroic that you should slava Ukraine right now and just give all your money and accept high gas prices and food prices and, being cold during the winter because we just, we want to shoot ourselves in the foot and not buy Russian gas or oil. Yeah, great. But if you dare say something good about the Palestinian resistance, you're a terrorist. This is the funny thing, because I'm not even saying necessarily whether it's good or bad. I'm telling you what the law says. The law says it's legal. Why do I bring this up? Because they are saying Hamas are terrorists. Based on what? Based on what? Does the law say they're terrorists? No, it doesn't. Actually, it says Israel is a terrorist. Israel is the occupying power. Israel is the one violating the Geneva Convention. Hamas can do whatever the hell they need to do, and any Palestinian can do whatever they have to do to liberate their country. The same way you give Ukrainians billions of dollars to do whatever that needs to be done to liberate their soil. Anyway, we all know that Ukraine is a proxy war. But even then, even despite the fact that the Palestinian cause is a just, noble cause that has been going on for 75 goddamn years, that, it's not even comparable. And that's not to say the Ukrainians aren't suffering. Of course they're suffering. They're being used by NATO. Of course they're suffering. They're being squeezed one side, by one side from the Russians and the other side by NATO. So yes, they're absolutely suffering. It's their country that's being destroyed. But the point is that, in just a matter of weeks, it's like totally acceptable. You can do a GoFundMe and buy them weapons online, and try doing that for Palestinians. You'll be in fucking prison in 10 minutes. So, it's my job. It's my job to tell you these things, to point out these double standards. And the easiest thing in the world, is to just, mimic what the BBC say. Wow. I mean, not only are you lying to yourself and to the audience, but, it's just, how do you grow by doing that? What do you learn by doing that? What do you accomplish by doing that? It's so easy to do that. Anyway. You guys have kind of overwhelmed me, so I'm drowning in notifications, and I'm trying to read all of them as best as I can. Hey, Crazy Puppet, it's good to see you. Crazy Puppet has sent like a ginormous thing and said, good luck out there. Hope this gift will reflect on YouTube's loss of potential. It's funny, right? I mean, it could easily turn back. It could easily go back into, the #1 news story. But right now, I'm going to do a video and connect these two things together and explain why the West have diverted, all their media propaganda power, and why Biden is over there and Blinken is over there, and the moves that they're planning with the Saudis and Israelis. This is all connected. It's all connected. But Zelensky was crying. He was saying he was saying something along the lines of, aren't you guys interested in giving us weapons anymore? No. Afraid not, old chum. Once again, I don't quote Henry Kissinger too often, but to be a friend of the United States is indeed fatal. Thank you, Crazy Puppet. Brought a smile upon my face, as did all of you. We also have Mahmoud, and we have Panthera, and Abdullah, and Danny, who've all joined on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. Again, I'm gonna harass you one last time before I leave, and impress upon you the importance of supporting the show. And I really don't say this lightly. It is crucial. It is the difference between continuing my work and not being able to continue my work, because they've taken away my work, my videos, and they've taken away my revenue now, my income. So I depend on you guys now more than ever. It's so crucial that even if you can afford $1, if you can afford it, if it's not a problem, send it. It will help. And these are all the ways that you can do it. I mean, there is Bitcoin, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass. So preferably any one of these would be great if it's okay for you guys. PayPal or Patreon or Cash App. While they still work. So yeah, and again, if you haven't subscribed yet on Rockfin or Rumble or Odyssey, make sure you do, because I can't deliver news to you, especially things that go against mainstream media and the mainstream narrative. I'm not allowed to tell you. They took away my money, they took away my work. But we won't let them win, will we?
Are killed. It was an act of
attacks many times over the years.
All right, guys, that's it for me. I'll catch you perhaps the same time tomorrow. And like I said, we'll do it on YouTube. We'll go on YouTube first. We'll cover everything we can cover before moving on to Rumble. And we're gonna have to build it up. That's the way it is. There's. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be a bit hard now, but it's going to be worth it in the end. I cannot stand this bullshit of having to cherry pick which well, I never did, but I would always say what I want to say and then wonder, shit, is that going to upset the algorithm because I dared to mention this word or that word? These words, what are they? They're like saying Palestine, for example. This is ridiculous. This is madness. It's like Big Brother on steroids. In any case, we are almost at 10,000 subscribers on Rumble, so thank you guys very much. Thousands of you have just signed up. I couldn't even read your names if I wanted to because it's going by too fast. So thank you so much. And we also have many of you who've, a lot of you have sent many a donation. Thank you, Thayer, who's just joined on Patreon, and I promise I'll play you all the crab dance before I leave. I'm trying to get back into the stream. Hold on, give me a second. I'm kind of just like walking around, figuring my way out here. Okay, splendid. I see where we are. Yes. We have a super chat over here from Montreal. Says, please don't give up. I won't. As long as you guys are with me, then that's what counts. And I want to say one more thing before I forget. When you share the videos that I make, when you post them online or you send them to somebody, please from now on share the Rumble links. YouTube, they don't deserve it. And on top of it, they're putting ads on my videos now and making money off of my work, and taking everything. It's like spitting in my face, man. So just share the Rumble links or the Rockfin links. I don't care. I think with Rumble you don't even have to log in to watch, so it's kind of like YouTube. But with Rockfin you have to log in. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's just I'm basically telling you that so we get used to it. Thank you, DS Vogel. Thank you, Olke. And thank you, Basil. Thank you, Suds53. I see all of your comments. Bob Mill says, thanks, Richard. Don't give up on those fuckers. Hey, Big Teal, where did you get the cat GIF? They have GIFs here? That's good. Dallas says YouTube is old news. They should be. They should be. They're out of control. They are out of fucking control. Truly. Bob Mills says truth will prevail. Tex Nim says tuning in from New York City. Okay, guys. Okay. Thank you so much. I see all of your comments. And peace is our motto. Says Richard, your channel will grow exponentially on Rumble, bro. You're being kept down on YouTube, on ScrewTube. Well, I hope so. I certainly hope so. So, you know, we're in it for the long haul now. And Yusuf says, Wallah innak wahsh. Yeah, YouTube is definitely an abomination. Oh, Teal is educating me and you know, telling me where these GIFs are. I found them. There we go. Okay, Claudia, we need to get the Gaddafi, Alex Jones, Nasser, Hillary Clinton, George Bush with the shoe. We need to get these guys in here. All right. So our collection is complete. Anyway, YouTube is old news. Thank you guys so much, and I appreciate all your support. And I'll play one last crab dance before I go. I couldn't do this without you guys, so thank you very much. Take care. Ma'asalama. Bye-bye.
Clap for that, you stupid bastard.
Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
Listen, fuckhead, you have fucking crossed the line, claiming I'm the enemy. You got that, you goddamn son of a bitch?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Cut that bitch off.
Thank you for Iron Dome.
Thank you. والله في كلاب بصراحة يعني. ماشي نشتغل عادي.
We lied, we cheated, we stole.
China. And you ain't black.
There's always the macro.
And then there's the micro.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
You talking to me?
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'll have 2 number 9s. A number 9 large.
we got him.
Because I have to do it myself. I know it's not.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Disgusting!
She was 12, I was 30, but anyway.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Why you text in? Why? Oh, you're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay. Okay.
Suck my dick and choke on it. I yield my time. Fuck you.
So you have another terrorist attack in Ukraine. This time it's the Kakhovka Dam. And the first thing the media do is blame the Russians. So let's see why the Russians would do it. They control the dam. They control the region. They need the dam to funnel water to Crimea, which is also under Russian control. They literally have zero motive. There is no motive. You know, the Washington Post in December published an article showing how Ukraine targeted this dam using American missiles, using the HIMARS system. They actually fired a missile at this dam to test if they could flood areas. Sound familiar? This is the same thing that we saw with the Nord Stream pipeline attacks, right? The first thing the press do is let's go and blame Russia. And now, almost a year later, the Washington Post finally admits that Ukraine, not Russia, Ukraine blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. This is something that I, myself, and others have been saying since the very beginning. Anyone with half a brain knew that it was not Russia. Russia would not blow up their own pipeline. But, you know, this was dismissed as a crackpot conspiracy theory that NATO would maybe do this, or Ukraine. No, that's Russian propaganda. And another example, the Nazi blowing up pipelines and dams. European leaders say literally absolutely nothing, and all they do is give more money and more weapons to an army where men are wearing Nazi patches and blowing up our infrastructure. So what's the conclusion? Always ask yourself, who stands to gain? Whether we're talking about the Crimea Bridge, Nord Stream pipelines, or the Kakhovka Dam like today, Always ask yourself who stands to benefit, and you'll find the answer, you'll find the truth. So everyone's talking about how Donald Trump has been indicted under the Espionage Act. But what a lot of people don't understand is that the Espionage Act is a law that has always been used in the United States as a political tool to silence opponents. It was crafted in 1917, so during World War I, and one of its most famous victims was Eugene Debs. He was given 10 years in prison and stripped of his citizenship because he gave an anti-war speech. Ellsberg, Manning, Kiriakos, Snowden, they were all charged under the Espionage Act as well, and none afforded a public interest defense. Yet another reason why the Espionage Act is a political tool to silence whistleblowers, quite literally, even in court. Even worse, it's also being used to threaten Julian Assange, a publisher, with almost 200 years in prison. So many people are upset about Trump putting classified documents in the bathroom. I wonder if they care just as much about freedom of speech and press freedoms. Trump definitely put America's national security at risk, not for bringing home documents, but assassinating Soleimani, the equivalent of Iran's defense minister. How come Trump's critics never attack him for actual crimes, like putting illegal sanctions on millions of people or stealing oil from Syria?
We're keeping the oil. We have the oil. The oil is secure. We left troops behind only for the oil.
If you love Ukraine, if you care about Ukraine, depleted uranium is the last thing in the world that you would tell them to use. If you look at what the United States have done, everywhere they've used depleted uranium, it's like dropping a nuclear bomb, and actually worse in other ways. Just to give you an example, in Fallujah in Iraq, guess what? 10, 20 years later, there are people in Fallujah who are being born with cancer. And it's so bad that you have higher rates of birth defects and congenital heart disease in Fallujah than you do in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. In Nagasaki and Hiroshima, you knew that there was a nuclear explosion and you had to get the hell away from there if you could. The thing is, the people in Iraq didn't know what the Americans had put in the tank shells. They dropped so much white phosphorus, they used so much depleted uranium. The people living there have no clue about this. The war is bad enough without knowing that, if you live there and you stay there, you're going to get cancer, and your kids are going to be born with these massive nightmarish birth defects. And now they want to bring this literally cancerous thing, depleted uranium, and use it in Ukraine. If you love Ukraine, if you care about Ukraine, depleted uranium is the last thing in the world that you would tell them to use, because guess who's going to suffer from that? The people in Ukraine, right? Like, if their idea is to liberate Ukraine, right? Okay, let's say that they do. Tomorrow morning, Zelensky's gonna emerge victorious over the Donbass and Crimea, and he's gonna go have a nice parade, right? Guess what? All the people returning to their homes, or all the people living there, you're gonna give those people in Ukraine cancer because you use depleted uranium, because this stuff goes in the earth. It seeps into the earth, into the soil, into the water. It's actually worse than a nuke, truly, because people don't even know that it's there. They have no clue that they're living next to things that are going to give them cancer and destroy their DNA and give their children massive birth defects. They don't even know that it's there. It's like a silent killer. They don't care about you, man. They don't care about you. This is bad for the environment, obviously. That doesn't even need stating. And it's bad for human beings, and it's bad for wildlife, for everyone. But it's good for it's good if you manufacture it. It's very good. This is explosive. This is mind-blowing. How do we know that it's the Ukrainians who haven't held up their end of the deal, but the Russians have? The deal was that the Russians will pull out of Kiev. At the time, the media that we have here in the West, they were saying, oh, the Russians have failed. Their army sucks. That's actually not at all what happened. The Russians pulled back on purpose and left the capital. They left Kiev because of this peace agreement. Boris Johnson was the prime minister at the time, and he just randomly happens to go and visit Zelensky. And he tells Zelensky, drop out of the peace negotiations, drop out. Zelensky did what Boris Johnson told him to do. Angela Merkel, who is the German chancellor, she says that in the end, the Minsk agreement, it was just a ruse in order to buy time for NATO to arm Ukraine. This means that once again, you cannot take Western leaders and diplomats seriously. The Russians are done talking. This is the conclusion that I draw from this, because they have had it up to here with Ukraine and their backers and guarantors, you know, just playing games with them. So just remember the next time that the media tell you that the Russians walked away from peace talks, that this is a lie. And when they tell you the next time that Russia wanted this war, that this is a lie. Just remember these things.
Some in Iran wanted Iran to go to war with the Taliban. And actually they were liberals. They were the pro-Western liberals who were saying that we should, you know, go to the defense of the Tajiks, who are Persian speakers, the Hazaras, who are predominantly Shia, and the Uzbeks and others. They together are more than 50%. Taliban is basically Pashtun. They are 40%, roughly 40%.
They attack Lula for trying to sit down Zelensky. Zelensky makes him wait and then doesn't even show up to the meeting. I mean, how insulting in any context, right? Never mind a goddamn president of the largest country in Latin America. So they try to like attack the countries closest to Russia for actually suggesting peace. Maybe South Africa should give some F-16s instead of being a Putin puppet, right? Maybe China should send some F-16s instead of being a Kremlin asset.